Welcome to the Boosting Business Breakthroughs podcast, where coaches gain the confidence, motivation, and expertise to make their next business breakthrough. I am your host, Lori Young, certified master marketer, business growth coach, and all-around truth teller. Breakthroughs can come with flashes of absolute clarity, sudden shifts in mindset, learning new skills, changes in habits, or anything else that changes the course of your coaching business. So if you're ready to be inspired and break through to your next level of growth, let's go. Welcome to episode 17 of the Boosting Business Breakthroughs podcast. I'm very excited today because we have a topic that I know is very interesting to people. We are going to be diving into the world of Facebook and Instagram paid advertising and how you can use paid ads to build your email list, fill your events for your launches, and ultimately grow your business. And this can be kind of a complicated topic, and I've been around it for a long time, so you can bet I'm going to have a lot of questions for our guests. So let me introduce Tammy P. She is a marketing and advertising strategist with more than 20 years of experience specializing in Facebook and Instagram ads for ambitious empire-building female entrepreneurs, coaches, and done-for-you service providers. She left the corporate world of advertising with million-dollar budgets behind to create her full-service ad agency, helping up hundreds of clients build wildly successful online businesses with Facebook and Instagram advertising. Her consulting and ad services have generated results for clients, including upwards of $55,000 in revenue in a single week. She's been featured on stages across the U.S., including Moneymaker Live with Alyssa J Dillon. Tammy lives in Michigan with her 2 children and Lulu, the cutest Boston Terrier you'll ever hear snoring on every Zoom call. And unfortunately, we had to move Lulu before we started this recording today so that she's not snoring and interrupting our great show today. Yes. So welcome, Tammy. Why don't we just start and you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of just, a little bit about your business journey.
Yeah, I love this so much. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Lori. I'm super excited to be here today and be interviewed by you. So I just want to say thank you for having me on. I'm really grateful for it. So a little bit about me. I'm Tammy P. I mean, the introduction was fabulous, but I came into online space with over 20 years experience in the corporate world, working in advertising, working in marketing. It's interesting. I came in because I was curious. So like a lot of people, I don't know everybody's story about how they kind of started their whole journey in the online space, but I had been working as a corporate consultant, more locally than anything else. And I was just curious about what was happening in this whole digital marketing and advertising world online. I saw things happening and funny enough, I came in, if I think back of like where I originally came in, I came in off of Pinterest of all things.
Oh, wow.
Really funny, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I hadn't really been using, I think I started following like some bloggers, kind of some digital marketing bloggers on Pinterest. Okay. That kind of was my introduction to it way back in 2017, which seems like long ago. And I didn't have any experience marketing my business online at all. I didn't actively market on Facebook, maybe a little bit of LinkedIn because I was a corporate consultant, but didn't really have experience on Facebook, Instagram, and even how to translate it with my currently who I work with is like coaches, and also mostly Facebook and Instagram marketing. And I learned all of it. I've learned all of it. And
good for you.
Yeah, just starting, and I know it's a lot, but just starting with being curious around like what is going on here. And I have a thirst for knowledge. I saw one of the things I saw, because I can, I just saw, I don't want to say some of my other colleagues getting a little bit outdated when it came to marketing and advertising. And so I made the decision in 2018 to massively up level my skills and invest. I actually was at a turning point in my business where I was like, either I'm going to invest, and that's going to either be via like getting my master's degree, or I'm going to like invest in some programs in the online space and get my advertising and marketing knowledge super current.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great investment, and it really, really paid off, because now I have an online following on Facebook and Instagram, and it's been an incredible journey.
Awesome. Very, very cool. So you've been doing this for about 6 years then?
Yeah. I mean, I think I forget how long I've been doing it, but I recently had someone who was working with me, and she goes, yeah, I've been following you around online for like 6 years. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I've been doing it.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm surprised myself. It's 7 years, where I'm kind of like 1 year ahead of you. I started in 2016 doing marketing, not advertising. That's the one thing I'm like, no, we can't do advertising. That's too scary. It's definitely needed, but it was definitely not the avenue that I wanted to take.
Yeah.
So I always like to start the show with asking guests about a business breakthrough that they have had in their business. Tell me about something that's kind of, changed the course of your business.
I absolutely love this question, by the way, because I know exactly what it is. And the breakthrough for me was because I came from advertising. I really was a person who helped everybody look good. Companies, people look really good. And I was always the one that was behind the scenes, right? So I was doing all the work all the time for my clients, and just in the background, coming from like working for a large ad agency, and then now having my agency. And I was never in the forefront of just like we are now doing this interview together. I don't want to say, it sounds strong if I say I had a fear of putting myself out there, but I very much didn't put myself out there. So my breakthrough was actually started very simple. It really started in, I would say, 2019.
Okay.
I started going live every single week. So I made this challenge for myself to go live every single week, because I was this person that was like, okay, I'm really not putting myself out there too much. I had this whole visibility thing going, right? And I was really ready to put myself out there in a bigger way. So I gave myself a challenge of going live every single week for a whole year.
On Facebook?
On Facebook.
Okay. All right.
Well for me.
Okay.
And it's just something that I did. I just decided to do, and I did. And I started to realize that people started watching my videos, and they would say things to me like, wow, your information's really helpful. This is really great. Like, I learned a lot from what you had to say. And so I realized, like, oh, I am an expert, and I can help people by going live and by just sharing like my experience, my expertise, stories, whatever it may be, inspiration, things like that. And that changed everything for me, because literally that is how, like, every single week, I have live events, I do challenges, I do workshops, I go live, all the things. And I absolutely love it. Podcast interviews, summits, all the things. I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you found kind of your sweet spot for how to be visible.
Yeah. And the transformation was like, so to inspire anyone listening to this interview, if you have that feeling like, oh, what do I have to share? Like, nobody's going to listen to me, and just start doing it. Like that would be my advice, because I didn't know what would come of it. Just starting that little challenge of like, every week I'm going to go live in my backyard on Facebook. And it has like been an absolute game changer in my business, transform my business.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Kind of reminds me of my own story a little bit, of just deciding finally after a couple of years to do this podcast. Like, I feel like, yes, I was, getting leads and working with clients and so forth, building my team, but I was not getting out from behind my computer, right? I was kind of like, blogging, sending emails, like doing social media, that kind of thing. But no one was really able to experience me, like, and my personality. And so it's like, okay, I just got to get out there now and start and connecting with other people. I think that's another good thing, going live, letting people see your personality, letting people see your expertise, but also connecting. like I wouldn't, if it wasn't for this podcast, I wouldn't be connecting with you and your expertise. And, we may very well collaborate in the future because we serve the same clients, but in a very different capacity. So it's great. So
it's incredible. Like that's your own journey, but it's all amazing, right? And we're helping people. I always think of it as, if I can provide some little bit of information on this interview that can help someone in a small way, like if someone decides, you know what, I'm going to start going live, or I'm going to start my podcast, like then my job is done.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So let's start diving into this world of Facebook and Instagram advertising. And let's start, I think we go simple to deeper, right? So let's just start with, for someone that has no clue whatsoever what Facebook and Instagram advertising is, let's just kind of give a simple picture for those listeners.
Yeah. And when we say Facebook and Instagram advertising, and it's because, so I get this question a lot of, am I on Facebook or am I on Instagram? It's because Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. So we can run ads to Facebook alone. We can run ads to Instagram. We can run ads to Facebook and Instagram together. So it's really great. So it doesn't matter whether in your business you're leaning into, hey, I'm really working on growing my following, social media following on Instagram, then yeah, we'll just focus more on Instagram advertising versus Facebook, or both. You can leverage both platforms, which I think is super powerful. At the very most simple thing, like I'll just share a story with how I started when I started using Facebook ads and how I grew my following, because I had no following online. So
Okay.
I'm speaking to anyone, and there's a lot of people that feel this way, where they're just like, I don't have much of a social media following. I don't have, much of an email list, right? At the very minimum, you can use Facebook ads to start growing that. And so that is something where on my journey, if I look back to one of the keys of my success and of where I'm at right now, it's because I started to run Facebook ads in order to grow my email list and also grow my group. So this is something I did in various capacities, right? When we talk about those types of Facebook ads, these are type of ads that people are familiar with. We can call them lead generation ads, or we can call them, we want to get leads, right? And getting leads, what is getting leads? Getting leads, the whole purpose behind that is to grow our email list and grow our social media following. And so for me, I had a strategy for doing both of those things. And that led to just bringing in business on a regular basis, visibility, and like getting clients, consistently getting clients. But for me, specifically what I did is I was consistent around audience growth. I was consistent around using Facebook ads in order to grow my email list. One thing that I have to say around that, a lot of people focus, and this is a mistake, okay? A lot of people focus on, hey, I'm gonna grow my Instagram following to 50,000. What if something happens and you don't have your Instagram anymore, right? You do not own your social media. So I had this a couple months ago where my Facebook account got shut down for a week. And I was okay because I spent years growing my email list. I have over 7,000 people on my email list. So I can communicate to people, hey, I'm on Instagram instead. Hey, I'm over doing a workshop. Come join me on Zoom. If you're putting all your eggs in one basket just on social media, you're not fully owning your audience.
Right.
And so I want to say this over and over in every interview I ever do forever, is growing your email list is a vital strategy, very important strategy to having a successful and healthy business. And you can do that through Facebook ads.
Awesome. Yes, I agree 100%. And I will throw in, when you have an email list, you can speak directly to your prospects and you can provide value to them. You can sell to them. You can speak directly in their inbox. On social media, you are at the mercy of the algorithm to show your content to people. And I know just from experience that algorithm is very tough to beat because these platforms want money, right? They want advertising dollars. And so they are going to show content for people who are paying money to put their content out there. And the rest of them, it's like, okay, you've got to be like a super creator to get, really high engagement on your post.
Yes. And
do you agree?
I agree. And like I said, if you've got other things going on where you've got some kind of foundation, you have some sort of following online, right? It's slightly easier. But if you're starting where it's like, no, I'm not consistent on social media, I don't have much of an email list, Facebook ads is going to get you there faster. It's going to accelerate where your goals. So, when I didn't understand how Facebook ads worked, like when I was on the other side of it, I was like, oh, all right, this seems so hard. Like, actually, is one of the things when I came into online space is being curious is like, I wanted to use Facebook ads because I was impatient with growth. So I wanted to grow faster. I wanted to build my email list, grow my audience faster. And so Facebook ads is a tool, and it's a tool to like accelerate your business and become more successful in your business faster.
Okay. So, is there any point where you feel like a business is too small or too new to start with Facebook advertising, or do you feel like they should be at a certain level before they start with advertising?
Yeah. So the main thing, I do have feelings around that. I do have opinions around that. If you are a brand new business, if you're in the first year of business and you have not sold anything, like if you literally don't know what you're offering, a lot of people like they're, if you're new to business, you're not really sure who you're working with and what you're offering. So for me, like I'm super clear, like I primarily work with coaches and I help them with Facebook ads, with paid advertising, right? If you don't know that, like let's say you're a bookkeeper or something, like I was talking to someone who's a little bit more new to business and she's thinking about maybe I want to be a VA or maybe I want to do bookkeeping or maybe it's a combination of both or maybe it's something else, right? You wouldn't want to start Facebook ads because you're not clear on what your end offer is that you're actually going to be promoting, right? And then once you get clear on, hey, what is it? Do I have a service available? Do I have a program available? Do I have coaching available? Once you're clear on that, you can run Facebook ads because it's about reverse engineering, right? So if you're running Facebook ads and you don't know what you're selling at the end of it, what your program is, what your service is, what your course is, what your coaching package is, then you will not be successful. You'll waste money.
Yes. Okay. All right. So let's say that business is clear on their target audience. They're clear on their offer. What is the best type of ad like to start with to start growing the email list?
My favorite is a lead ad, lead generation ad. It's actually what my major skill set is.
Okay.
I joke because I think it eludes a lot of people where they say, I don't know how to, get leads and all that. And like literally, I joke, but I could do this with my eyes closed. it's so easy to me. I've just run so many campaigns, so I know exactly what works.
Okay.
And so like, if you're on the other side of it and you're thinking, oh, I really just want to get leads in my business, I really want to grow, it's totally possible. It's just, there's an expertise to it. There's an expertise, there's an actual exact expertise doing it and doing it successfully with the Facebook ads, but totally possible for your business.
So when you talk about a lead ad, are you referring to taking like your lead magnet, which would be maybe some type of free offering that could be, a PDF guide, checklist, that type of thing, or it could be even like an on-demand webinar. Is that what you would run ads to? Is that free lead magnet?
Yeah, primarily I'll start because like the on-demand webinar, that can feel a little bit more complicated for people to set up. Like the webinar is like, setting that up for evergreen technology wise, that can sometimes when I'm working with clients, that could be a hindrance, right? So really like my mission is to show people how you can use the Facebook ads and get leads and grow your email list quite quickly. And so if you're just starting out and you're hearing this and you've never done this before and it feels daunting, the lead magnet is the place that I would start, because usually with my clients, like once they run ads and they start ads and they're like, oh, wow, I just got like 100 people like that fast. And they're like, oh, now I get it. And then they get excited because they start to see like what's possible in their business. Because before they're kind of slogging along and they're like getting, 10 emails here, 10 emails there. And it's like, boom, in a week they can get 100. And they're like, whoa, whoa. Right.
Exactly.
And then they're going to start getting excited about their business. They want to do more. That is really, I want you, like, for all the people that I work with or anybody hearing this, like, you cross over to the other side and you're like, now I get it. Right.
Yes.
So, yes.
So one thing I want to mention is when you're putting, before you start your advertising to your lead magnet, you really do need to make sure that you have a lead magnet funnel set up properly. That's probably not something that you work with. I definitely know we work with that. And so, that requires, an email sequence, an intro welcome sequence, all of that, so that when someone does come into your business through ads, that they become indoctrinated, right, to your business. They start learning about your business. You start providing value. You start warming them up, because let's talk about, I think it's good to understand the difference between an organic lead and a paid lead.
Yes.
Let's dive into that just a little bit, because I think sometimes coaches they think, oh, I've got 100 new leads into my business from ads. Those leads, I think, are different than 100 leads that may have come in organically through maybe social media post or word of mouth or search or something like that.
I feel like they're the same. I mean, the one caveat I would say would be like a direct referral. So if somebody had like a direct referral of you, that's like a super hot lead that you don't have to nurture that. But right. I think people are coming in what I call cold off of, it could be social media organically or off of an ad. It's all the same. And one thing that I used to believe that it takes a long time to warm them up. So you're speaking about the nurture, right? The nurture is like, we warm them up. They're cold. They're new to our business. They've never heard of us before. They've never seen our face. They've never heard our name. And how do what's the process that takes them from, we don't know you at all, to we want to work with you, right?
Right.
And so always the challenge for me, not a challenge actually, but one of the things one of my objectives is like, okay, we have someone over here. It doesn't matter whether they come in cold off of organic or a Facebook ad. They're cold. They don't know us as well. Mm-hmm. How do there's a middle part that's a warm up and then moving closer. How do we shorten that gap, right? So, that was one thing. I think it was a mindset thing in my head that I thought, oh, it's going to take 6 months for them to warm up before they'll buy from me. Mm-hmm. That's not true. If you have a solution, usually people come off of an ad or come off of organic because they have a problem and they're looking to you to solve it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. If you have the solution for them, then they will come and work with you in whatever capacity that is. That could be a program, service, etc. Right? So part of it is, how do we take someone that doesn't know us and turn them into someone that is coming in closer and then ultimately working with us, right?
Right.
And so that's the process I think you're speaking of. But there are things that you can do to take someone from like, I don't know them at all, to, wow, this person's amazing and I want to work with her.
Right. So I know from a little bit of experience with coaches, like working kind of hand in hand with other ad agencies, with my own business and with other coaches' business. Sometimes it can be challenging to really target the right audience and really attract the right kind of leads. Talk to me a little bit about how do you, like, let's say it's a writing coach, for instance. That's one of my clients is a writing coach. Mm-hmm. How do you find nonfiction creative writers that are looking for, coaching or, programs or whatever related to that topic?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this question so much, by the way. Like, So this is like, we're getting in a little bit deeper on the nerdiness level, which is where I'd love to go.
Uh-huh.
I love going nerdy. And audiences are my absolute favorite thing out of anything, because one of the things I hear all the time is like, well, how can I target? Like, my audience doesn't exist on Facebook. And I'm like, yes, it does. We just have to be a bit creative around it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get a
Okay.
bit around it. And a lot of my clients, so like my background in advertising and marketing, I worked with tons of people in the B2B industry, so business to business. And, everybody's always like, oh, we got to go over on LinkedIn to do business to business, right? And I'm like, wow, all that work you're doing on LinkedIn, we can use it to build out these amazing audiences over on Facebook, which is amazing. That's
Okay.
one little piece of gold for everybody on here. But the point is, it comes around creativity with our audiences. And I'm going to speak specifically to your question, but we've got to get a little creative about how we think about our audiences, right? And so understanding how audiences work on Facebook, which we don't have time to go through all that today.
Right.
There's a lot to it. But understanding how they can work so we can think creative to find our ideal client. And that really what it's all about is about finding our ideal client through the power of Facebook ads, right? And a lot of that comes down to, it all comes down to audiences, and then also messaging with our copies. So those two things together is what really creates that dynamic of having like a really amazing ad that converts and finds our ideal people. So when I think about this for a moment, I'm just going to let everybody know, like, of all the platforms, we're talking about LinkedIn, we're talking about, like Google or YouTube, and then thinking about Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is literally the best platform if you want to find an audience, and it's not expensive. Like LinkedIn's great, but it's expensive. Like ads are expensive, so people just are not running ads on. So the point is, there is the most, and I haven't checked. Last I checked, it was something like 6 million different types of audiences. I haven't checked recent, that you can come up with and create with the Facebook audiences. I mean, and it's more than that. Like, it's like so many, it's mind blowing. It's just getting creative around how we find them based on what we need. So when we're talking about like writers and nonfiction writers, like those are absolutely targetable with ads. I actually have a colleague of mine who is a nonfiction writer, and she runs Facebook ads for authors. And so she's highly successful as a published author herself.
Okay.
And helping people who write books be found in their particular genre. So I can tell you 100% super targetable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So no doubt with your expertise, we can find the right audience. We understand that there are tons and tons and tons of audiences and ways to target your ads to find your ideal clients. But we have to have an ad that works. We have to have an ad that converts, that when someone sees it in their feed, it speaks to them, it causes them to click on the ad and then land on the landing page and convert from there. Talk to me a little bit about what are the best types of ads that are working today?
Yeah. Well, I think we're talking about creative. Do you want me to talk about creative, or you want me to talk about types of ads? Because I can talk about either.
Talk about both in the order that you feel is important.
Okay, yeah. So when we're talking about types of campaigns, types of ads that are working really well, just from like a broad perspective, I always go back to lead ads because I feel like they're a really amazing type of ad that we can do, and we can get really kind of, I don't want to say like quick results, but we can get results in which we are growing our email list, growing our following online, and we're super energized and excited about our businesses again because we got people coming in, right? That's the fun part. That's what's exciting for me. And then when I want to talk about creative, how I frame or how I talk about it is called winning creative, winning ad design. And so the purpose when we're first starting new Facebook ads. So different if you've already got some ads working, kind of got some ads going on, you're kind of ready to scale that up with a bigger budget. That's a different strategy. But when I'm talking about, like, you've got a brand new lead magnet, and you want to run a lead campaign to grow your email list, right? So you already have your lead magnet and you're like, all right, I'm all in. I want to do Facebook ads. I want to grow my email list. we've got to go through the process of testing our winning ad creative. So doing that due diligence with the methodologies that I teach and I do around finding like the right kind of ad designs, right? Ad designs that convert for a lead magnet. And then the messaging. So speaking to the audience, so the right people are opting in to that. And so I do, when people work with me from my agency or through programs that I have, I encourage people to not just come up with one piece of copy and one piece of design. We've got to come up with multiple pieces of copy, multiple designs, so that we can test out what our audience really gravitates to, right?
Okay.
So we've already established, like, we know who our audience is and we're building that out. But now we've got to find some different messaging, and we've got to find some different design that's going to get people to raise their hand on those ads. And the better those do, the lower our ad spend is. Because if we're testing out, we go through the process of creating that winning ad design, and we find some copy and we find some ad designs that really work for people and work for that ideal audience, then actually our cost per lead goes down and we're spending less. Versus like, I hear a lot of people are like, I'm spending like $20 a lead. I'm like, don't do that. We got to fix that, right?
Right.
You could be spending, anywhere from, it depends on the industry and the niche, but like my ideal for like a lead magnet ad is you should only be spending around $3 to $7 per lead. And if you're spending more than that, then there's something we need to fix. We need to fix the audience. We need to fix the creative and whatever it is, right? So we have benchmarks that we look at to know what's working. But it starts with a creative is a really, really, really important part, is doing that due diligence of testing different creative to get one that really converts with our audience.
Okay. All right. Speaking of money, because that's, I think, what most people, and understandably, are most nervous about. They've heard horror stories of hiring, ad agencies and pouring tons and tons of money into advertising and it not converting into ideal leads for their business.
Yes.
Assuming that you have a great ad agency, you've got an ad that's working well, right? What do you recommend in terms of like minimum ad spend per month?
Right. So if you're I want to address it in two ways. One is if you are still kind of figuring it out, right? So one of the things, like, again, horror stories, I agree. Like, and then when I came into online space, one of the reasons why I was so intrigued with learning Facebook ads is because I was like, everybody says you got to spend tens of thousands of dollars on ads. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to work around. So I want a workaround. So I found the workaround, and really, like, so I have a lot of people that are just like, how much money do I need to spend? And they come in like, I don't want to waste money, right? We're coming in with the wrong energy around that, right? We've got to believe that the Facebook ads are going to work for us and be all in with it. I always say to my clients, like, I can't be more invested in whether this is going to work than you can. So don't do Facebook ads if you don't, like, you're not all in with like making them work for your business, right? That is what I would say, because like that is an important piece. If you're going to come in like, they're not going to work, guess what? They're not going to work. Right. You already don't believe they're going to work. Right. So they're not going to work. So with my ideal clients, I want to work with people that are like, yes, I want to make it work. I want to figure it out. Right. Because there's so many layers to it, which is what I love and make it exciting. But I know people always think I'm crazy for loving Facebook ads, but I do, because when they work, they're amazing.
It takes all kinds of people in this world.
People think I'm crazy. They're like, why do you like this? I'm like, I just love it. I don't know what to tell you. But so you got to be all in with making them work, right? Obviously, like, I don't recommend like DIYing it. Like, I just don't. Right. And like, make sure at the very minimum you get in with a course that's a really good course that has a good reputation behind it, right? Because there's so much to Facebook ads. The reason I know about Facebook ads is because I literally run it for so many people, and I've seen it work and all the nuances of it. So I can just like, boom, this is what works. And I can pinpoint that. But to address the question around, if you're like new to it, and maybe you tried it before, maybe it's been a couple of years, and you're like, I'm going to try this again and see if I can make it work in my business. I'm feeling like I'm at the stage of business where I want more leads. I'm ready for it. Do not spend too much, because if you spend so much and like you don't feel it's going to work, then you're just going to like run the other way from it. So this is going to sound so basic, but with the type of ads that we're talking about today, which I love, which is the lead ads, lead generation ads, I actually recommend when we're testing out a new ad to run it for $25 a day for 7 days. $25, that's it. And then we're going to get some data and some benchmark for what works. And so then from there, you're just continually improving over time. You can scale that up to $15K a month if you want. Right. But to start, I want some things to start working. And if you're in the energy of like, it's not going to work and I'm just going to waste all my money, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Start with the 25, like, obviously you got to have the right training in place. You got to set up these ads the right way. There's an expertise to it. There's a knowledge and expertise behind it. It's not just like, I'm going to go Google it on YouTube and like, no, like it won't work. I'm sorry. This is a high-end strategy, right? So get in with whoever it is. There's lots of people out there. $25 a day, 7 days for a lead gen ad. If it's set up the right way, and then you go from there. And then you scale it up from there, budget-wise. And again, I work with clients and people always ask this question of like, how much do I need to spend? I'm like, start at $25 a day for 7 days. And then I have clients that want to spend $30K a month. I have clients who want to spend $150 a month. You can do whatever you want based on what your ultimate goals are. But I want some things to be working first. And I want you to feel like, okay, this is a tool. Facebook ads is a tool that I can use to help my business grow.
Okay. So if a business, just take myself, for instance, and even some of my clients, we have multiple lead magnets. I have currently 4 lead magnets in my business. One of my clients has 4, I think 4 as well. Do we start with just 1 lead magnet and get the audience like really like tuned in? Do we start with all 4 lead magnets? Like what do you recommend?
Yeah, I love this question. And I also teach this. I have a challenge I do every month, and I have like a Get Leads challenge it's called. And I have a whole hour dedicated to the irresistible lead magnet because it's that important. It's important. The main thing, like without having to we don't have a whole hour for me to do the training on it, but I teach a whole hour training on irresistible lead magnet. And the part of it is like, to answer your question, if you have like 4 lead magnets, I want you to look at like, what is the best one? Like, what's the one that's the most popular? You're going to probably know that, like, of the 4. So I look at like if I'm super shortcutting my 60-minute training, I would look at for you, like, what's the most popular one? Like, you can kind of tell that based on like how many downloads you get off of your email list, or, like organically promoting it, like which is the most popular. And then I also look at kind of like, what is kind of hot right now. So I love this part because like I was just part of a summit where we did an AI. So I did a whole training, like a summit. I spoke on like Facebook ads and copy using AI. And AI is super hot right now. So like, how can we take maybe a lead magnet we have and make it more attractive? AI is like a simple one. Like I'd be like, all right, let me take this lead magnet that I have that's great, but how do I zhuzh it up a little bit? Add an AI component to it, and it'll make it like fly off the shelves.
Okay. One, talk to me a little bit about running ads to paid, like paid events or paid like on-demand webinars. Like I have a client, who, for instance, who has a $27 webinar. She has a $97 course. Like, is that different than running like ads to like a free lead magnet, for instance?
Totally different strategy.
Okay.
And we probably need like an hour-long training just on that.
Okay.
I will tell you that I have done this strategy. I started with, I myself have done it back in, I think it was it 2019 now or 2020? I can't remember. I think it was 2019. I came up with one of my courses, and I'm a course creator as well. So like I'm a coach, I'm an agency, but also I'm a course creator. I came up with this course called my $5 Day Ad System, and I sold it online. I sold through Facebook ads. I sold, I think, about 600
Wow.
online. And it still continues to be my best-selling course. I still sell it today.
Okay.
And so knowing that, but what I did back in, I think 2019, 2020, don't quote me on that. I can't quite remember. What I was doing then to sell that course, that $5 Day course, is different than now. So it's changed. And so that's why it's selling something paid. That whole strategy has changed with using Facebook ads. And there's lots of strategies we can do. Some I would throw out of having kind of a what I call a lower ticket item. That would be like the sweet spot right now, in my opinion, is between $5 and like $7 as kind of the upfront ticket that we sell to Facebook ads.
Okay.
And then we can bump them up to the higher one. So that would be like an upsell.
I see.
Or you could do so I like that one a lot. And then the other one that I really like still is like lead magnet to upsell, right? So they're in our email list and we're letting them know that we have something available, right? So I do it that way a lot, where I have, people come in through my lead magnets, they go into my group, and then I run events like it could be a paid event. It's a combination of both, where I have like a 2-hour paid workshop, or I have like next week I have coming up a free challenge. Doesn't matter whether it's pay or free. They're coming in through the lead magnet, and then I upsell them into something paid, like a $27, $47 workshop, and we do it that way as well. So lots of different ways to do it. There is no one size fits all. It's just whatever works for your audience and for your unique situation.
Okay. Is that called a retargeting ad?
Retargeting ads are different. That's another strategy for like something available to sell. So let's say you've got like a course available. Like I'm doing, like for me, I'm doing a flash sale this weekend. I have a new course that I'm creating, and I could do a retargeting ad to my audience, people on my email list, to see that I have that course available for them.
Okay. Do you feel like there's anything that we have missed that's important for people to know or understand about advertising?
It's not missed, but like what I love about Facebook ads, like, I talk to a lot of people. Like part of what I do is just talk to I have lots of conversations with lots of people every single week. I just love all the people that I work with, love all the people that are in my world, but including you, Lori. Now I'm a new friend, by the way. Love it. Someone new in my world. It's coming from a place of like expansion. So I feel like a lot of people, when they come to me, they're like I've had conversations where it's like, I'm getting referrals, or my social media is really slow growth, or like my email list is growing so slow. That's coming from a place of like I don't have enough, right? And the beautiful thing about Facebook ads is it's so expansive, because if you can use Facebook ads to grow, that this is something that is a tool that you can use at any time to grow, right? And I just love that. When I think about like how I use Facebook ads and how I've used it in the past, I'm like, this is amazing that I have this tool available. And I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at today if I didn't use Facebook ads. Like I have single-handedly grown my business in this way. It's not like I'm just like, I'm a person that runs Facebook ads for you. No, like I've actually done it. I didn't have an audience and now I do. I didn't have these opportunities and now I do. And so I just want you to think of it in that way around your business, of like, could be something that amazing that you could implement in your business, and it might change it. It might change how you do business. So just really like showing people what's possible and how they can use Facebook ads in a creative way to grow.
So tell the listeners, how can they work with you? Like, what does that look like?
Well, people can work with me in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Lots and lots of ways. I have all kinds of things, and I've designed my business in that way, like on purpose, because I also feel like people come in and there's a lot of curiosity around Facebook ads, but people are just a little bit nervous around it. Sure. And that's why I continue to have courses available. I'm going to be creating a lot more courses in the next couple months. I feel motivated to do so again in my business. Okay. So I'm excited about that. But I have courses where people can come in anywhere from $7. They can come in and start, hearing some of my content, taking some of my courses. And then I work with clients all the way up to the agency level, right? And that can be larger packages, right? And so I have programs and things and anywhere in between. And that's on purpose because I really just want people to, again, start exploring the world of Facebook ads and really see what's possible for themselves. So I of course have 2 lead magnets. There's a gifts that I can give away if depending on what your audience wants. I have 2 really popular lead magnets. One is my 100 plus ad audiences guide, which helps coaches and come up and actually figure out who their ideal audiences are. And so I give away that to people.
I actually downloaded that, and I can definitely say it's cool. Like I was like, this is interesting. Like it was really cool just to see, like, because it's kind of like outlined. Like if you're a health and wellness coach, for instance, these are the way you're going to target your audiences. Or if you're this kind of a person. I really liked it. It was good.
Yeah. And actually for that guide, I'm actually just giving them the audiences. So a lot of people are like, I want to target coaches. Who do I need to target? I'm like, I have that. Here it is.
Exactly.
I'm like giving away gold because I think that's a mystery for a lot of people. What audiences do they target? Like these are actual ones that I use.
Absolutely.
So that's my guide. And that helps solve a problem, which is like, I'm not sure what audiences I should be running. And then the other one that I have is my ad design kit. And that is actual templates that I give away, Canva templates that I give away that you can use either for your Facebook ads, you can use organically to market your events.
Oh, awesome. I need to get that link for you so I can pop that in the show notes. I have the other one.
Yeah.
So this has been awesome. I have really I've really enjoyed our time. I always like to end on a kind of non-business way or just a fun way by asking you, like, what book, podcast, or TV show are you currently binging?
So the one that I just started this past week again, and it's super fun. It's just because I feel like the work I do and the coaching I do is so super intense. So my son and I, we love watching sitcoms together. I've watched this before, but I'm watching it again. It has been a couple years. Parks and Rec. I am watching Parks and Rec, and it's so good.
Parks and Rec. Okay.
I love Parks and Rec. I love lighthearted sitcoms. It's actually, I just love it. Like super fun. And I love to turn off my brain and just have enjoyment.
Yes.
Parks and Rec.
It's always good. Absolutely. It's so good to have kind of like comedic relief in especially when you're doing something as technical as you do. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for doing what you do, because just thinking about ads sometimes just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know, I have a client right now that wants to run Facebook ads, and they're, thinking about trying to do it yourself. And I'm like, oh, don't do it yourself. Don't do it yourself. It's so complicated. You really need an expert to make sure that it's done right. So yeah. Here's your expert.
It's all good. And again, that's why I have courses. So I'm like, okay, just start out with my course. Try it yourself. At least I know they're going to set it up the right way.
Right.
Right. So, you can, but you got to make sure you're taking the right course. Cause I've been seeing some things out there. That's all I'm going to say.
I know.
So yeah. This has been lovely, Lori. I'm really grateful that you have had me on this show today. I'm appreciative of it. I think it was fabulous meeting you too. So thank you for having me on.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. That's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Boosting Business Breakthroughs podcast. Want to hear more business breakthrough ideas? I'll be back next week with a new episode to help you grow your coaching business. If you enjoyed listening, make sure you subscribe, leave us a rating, and tell all your coach friends where to find us. Head over to boostingbusinessbreakthroughs.com to learn more. Thanks for listening, and remember, your next business breakthrough is waiting for you.